Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm so excited for this video because we're going to be doing 2 looks with the Menagerie Cosmetics Pastel Pup. I wanted to go ahead and quickly give this another go because my initial first impression, I wasn't really sure how to feel. I had some pros, I had some cons, and I feel so much better about this palette after playing with it more. So you're going to kind of see me go through the motions, trying it out, seeing what works, but I will just let you know really quickly right off the bat. If you go in with the white base for this palette, it makes it 1,000 times better, so much more pigmented and vibrant. I do feel like you have to be a little bit more careful how you blend over a sticky white base. Even if you don't use a white base, at least use something sticky because that really does kind of grab a hold of the pigment. You just want to be careful to kind of go in with a little bit of a time to really get it to blend out rather than just packing crazy amounts on, because I found when I first did that it kind of stuck and then it didn't want to blend. I had to take extra time to get it to blend. But if you want the vibrancy out of these shadows, a white base is the way to go. I personally use a P. Louise base just because that's what I have, but there's like a white concealer from ColourPop. e.l.f. has a new white putty primer. Makeup Revolution has a white in this formula, which I really love this one. I just have the shade Illustrate, which is close to my skin tone. So there's plenty of affordable options out there if you're in the market for a white base. And I have to say that now I am really enjoying this palette. I'm enjoying the looks that I've done with it. I think that it is so beautiful, and the fact that I was able to get them to work for me is everything, because the more I use these colors, the more I enjoy them, and I really just love the actual shades that they chose for this palette. I feel like a lot of these pastels are kind of unique and they add something to my collection. For me, it is a little frustrating that I have to go in with a white base for this palette because I don't have to do that with any of my other pastels, but it's so worth it because I'm in love with this color story, and this is just speaking to why first impressions are just first impressions. They're fun, they're nice. Sometimes you can get a really good idea, but sometimes you realize you have to play with something more. So I never take first impressions too seriously. So I would say this is definitely really workable. And if you like the colors here, you're willing to buy a white base or use a white base that you have like stored in the back of some makeup drawer you haven't touched in a long time, probably need to wipe the dust off of it, then I think that you could possibly like this palette. That's pretty much how I feel about all of the mattes. The shade Snowball, I feel like I definitely, no matter what, have to use a glitter glue for this again, so you do have to add a little bit of extra work, but that's what is all over my lids today, and it is stunning. So I'm really happy about this, and I cannot wait to do more looks with it. So now let's go ahead and jump into the looks I just did. Alright, so jumping right on in, I just watched a video from Jackie Ina, and it was titled, "Can Black People Wear Pastels?" Obviously, it was a rhetorical question. The answer was yes, and she gave some tips and tricks along the way, but she did a really beautiful two-tone pastel look, and she was actually inspired by Charmy Janie. So she was inspired by Charmy, I'm inspired by her, and I really want to do a two-toned pastel look today using the Pastel Pup palette. I actually just finished editing my first impression on this, and then I went and watched some videos, and I think that maybe I just started out with the most unpigmented shadows because the looks that I was seeing looked really good. So I think I definitely need to go ahead and give this another go. I'm going to start off by using my P. Louise base in the shade White, just because this is the only white eye primer that I have. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick that up on a concealer brush and pop it all over the lid. I don't typically prefer to have to go in with a white primer, but I do have one, and it's worth a shot just to see how the colors react to it. Alright, so we've got a nice sticky white base to start off with. So I think I'm gonna do my two-toned eye with blue on one side and green on the other. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the shade Aquatic, and I'm gonna put that right through my crease. Okay, I'm gonna stamp it on. Ooh, there we go. Stamping it on. That looks really pretty. I'm just gonna kind of get the color where I want it, and then I'm gonna lightly blend that out. I'm going in with a little bit more product to blend it out because it's kind of wanting to stick where I first laid it down. Okay, I feel like that's not super wanting to blend, but I'm gonna fix that. I am having to go in with more and more product just to get that to blend out. I'm not going to mention this every time because it would get repetitive, but every time I switch to the other side, I'm just using my color switch to clean off my brush. Now I'm going to go into the shade Flipper, and again, I'm just going to pop that right through my crease. So I feel like the green was a lot easier to blend than the blue, but it also doesn't look quite as pastel. So I think now I'm going to go ahead and do my lower lash line, and I'm just going to stick to the same shades. Again, I'm going to go into the shade Aquatic, and I'm going to pop that along the entire lower lash line. I'm not using a base underneath, so I am going to have to kind of build this shade up a little bit more. Now I'm going back into Flipper. So before I go in with my lid shade, I'm first going to do my inner corner, and I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with the shade Saddleback on both sides, just because that's going to make what I pop, ooh, let's kick back from that, what I pop on the inner corner a little bit lighter. So I'm going to kind of use that as a base, and I was also just kind of curious to see how pigmented that shade looks like on its own. I'm going to take a clean blending brush and just lightly go over that because I did make it a little bit intense. So now on the blue side, I'm going to go back into the shade Flipper and just pick up just a tiny bit of that and mix it in to the white just to give a really light green shade. And then I'm going to go into the shade Aquatic on the green side, again just taking a tiny little bit, mixing it into the white. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take one of the Trefoil shadows that launched at the same time as the palette. This is Turtle Club. I'm actually just picking that up on my finger because it's the easiest way to apply it, and I am doing more of an all over look. And I'm going to just tap that. Oh, that shade is so pretty. All over my lid. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, so I definitely got a little bit of fallout. That's okay. We can work with it. We can wipe it away. It's not wiping away. So I'm just gonna have like a little bit of a gold cheek going on. Try not to judge me too much. Well, I guess it's just a sparkly day. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade Snowball. Again, just picking it up on my finger, and I'm gonna pop that all over this lid. Oh, it's such a beautiful shade. I think, you know, I think my perfect combo is I need to go in with my NYX glitter glue first and then go in with my finger with these shades, and that'll be perfection. Wow, that is such a pretty color. Did get just a tiny bit of fallout on this side. Those are kind of wiping away a little bit better, but I still have some blue sparkles sticking to my skin. But it is what it is. I'm not going anywhere. So that's pretty much everything with the shadows. I think it looks really beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and take two different ColourPop creme gel liners, and I'm going to take the shade Teaspoon, the green, in my waterline on this side, and then the shade Prance on my waterline on this side, just to kind of connect the two different looks a little bit more. Jackie actually took some liquid liners and did the opposite colors on her lid, but I don't really love liquid liners, so I'm just going to stick to my waterline. I'm going to apply my Too Faced by 6 mascara, and I'll be right back. Alright, for highlighter today, I'm going to go into my LC Cosmetics Pearly Glaze Highlight, which is a very soft, neutral color, and I just thought it would kind of give me a little bit of a glow, but also not compete with everything that's going on, especially because I already have the blue and the green, and I don't know, I just thought a neutral highlight would be pretty. This is very much like a glow from within highlighter. For lips today, I'm going to go into one of my favorite nudes, which would be the Lisa Eldridge lipstick in the shade Velvet Fawn. So this is the finished look. I really love how it turned out. I feel like it was so simple to do, but it packs such a big punch, and it looks more complex on the eyes than what it actually is. I don't know, I just think the blue and the green is kind of complementary, and then like just the little different pops that kind of just mesh them together is really beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed it. Now let's go ahead and jump into the next look. So I already went ahead and primed my eyes with the P. Louise base again, and today I really want to focus more on the purples, pinks, and blues, especially the purple because I haven't really done a lot with those yet, and I just think that'll be a pretty color scheme. So I think, what am I going to do? I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with the shade Cuddle. I'm going to pop that through my crease, just going in with a little bit and starting to blend. I am being a little bit more light-handed right now just because when I did the look before, the pastels really seem to stick to the white base, which is good because it makes it more pigmented, but also a little harder to blend. So I think going in with a little bit at a time is going to help me a bit more. And this is a really pretty shade. I did see Butte Bean did a look with the pinks and purples and blue and the black, and I thought it was really pretty, so I'm a little bit inspired by that. But I watched the first part of her video, but I haven't watched the tutorial portion yet just because I was curious to hear her thoughts so far. So I've seen the look and it's like faint in my mind, but I'm not sure what exact shades she did, so I'm not following step by step by any means, but I did think it was a really pretty color scheme. I feel like the more you build, the more they brighten, and they just keep building and building, so I really like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Belly Slide, and I'm going to pop that a little bit lower in my crease on the front half of my eye. Just lightly blending it out. Alright, I'm taking a touch more of the pink Cuddle. Just popping that over top, making sure it's all blended. I feel like those are so pretty together. Alright, now I'm dipping into Ice Cap, and I'm going to pop this one on the crease on the outer half. It's kind of a purpley blue. So I'm just going to lightly blend it out, and I'm going to deepen it up with the black in a moment. Again, I'm not sure how much you're going to see in the video because I do edit some of the like excessive blending and stuff out just to make it a little bit faster, but I am building each shade up a little bit. None of them are like crazy pigmented on impact, but they are building well, so that's what I need. I feel like as long as I can work with them, I can make it work. Again, I'm just gonna go back in with the shade Cuddle all over the entire crease, just making sure everything is blended. And like I said, I really don't want to lose that pink because it's such a pretty shade. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Whiskers, and I'm going to pop that on my outer V. Just starting off with a little bit and lightly blending it out. I'm going to go back into a little bit more of Ice Cap. I want to let that shade have a little moment on the lid. I'm going to take my brush I've been using for the pink and no additional product, and again, just blend out that edge right there. I'm going to take just a touch of the black Whiskers just on the very like outer fourth of the lower lash line, lightly blending it out just to connect to that outer V. Alright, now I'm going into that purpley blue Ice Cap on the like outer 3/4 of the lower lash line. Getting oddly specific, but just blending that out. Now I'm going into that first lavender Belly Slide on the outer 2/4. Why is that so funny to me? The inner 2/4. The inner 2/4 of the lower lash line. That one looks really pigmented. And then on the inside, I'm going to take the light pink Cuddle and pop that on right here. Kind of building it up and blending it into that purple. Alright, now for my lid, I'm going to go ahead and take my NYX Glitter Primer. I'm taking that on a small flat brush, and I'm just going to pop it all over my lid. Alright, so I'm going to try something a little bit different. I have these e.l.f. eyeshadow applicators. I've heard that these can be really good to use with difficult shadows instead of using your finger, and you can be more precise with them. So I actually got these as a free gift with purchase on the e.l.f. website a little while back. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and pick up the shade Snowball. Ooh, that's chunky. Oh, that's not picking up very well. Oh, this might have been a bad idea. That's like not picking up at all on this. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and see. Try. Oh, that looks okay. I'm going to tap that on the lid. Okay, so that kind of made my shadow look really weird. It moved it around a bunch, but it did work. And I still got some blue sparkles, but I didn't get quite nearly as much fallout as I normally would. I'm going to go into my tiny blending brush and just lightly blend the outer V. Alright, so to finish off this look, I'm going to go into the Menagerie Trefoil shadow in the shade Bunny. And I'm going to spray that. And I'm going to pop that shade on my inner corner. Ooh. That's so pretty, and the blue shift in it is just perfection. I'm gonna go with my Ardency Inn Liner in the shade Lilac, my Too Faced Bed and Sex Mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for highlighter, I'm gonna go into my Lethal Cosmetics Ionic. It's a soft pink. If you've seen my videos before, you probably already know the drill. I love this highlight. I feel like it looks just so natural and glowy on the skin. It's one of those deceiving highlights because when you swatch it, when you look at it, it looks super powdery, but then on the skin, it is just so nice. For lips, I'm going to go into my e.l.f. lip oil in the shade Pink Kiss. Alright, so this is the finished look. I really love how it turned out. I think it's one of my favorite looks I've done in a long time. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoy my content and haven't subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!